Hello friends, in this video I'm going over lesson 5 in the Way of the Heart. This is book 1 of the Way of Mastery, which is a trilogy also called the Christ Mind trilogy. And all these books are a channeling of Jesus. They reestablish his teachings. And these books are by JON MARC HAMMER or Jayem. In lesson 5 he starts by reminding us that we need to commit fully to this path for it to unfold before us. He also reminds us that we need to cultivate a state of mind of stillness, of allowance, of witnessing our thoughts, of witnessing the things around us from this neutral, innocent state of mind, state of being. And then he goes into the main lesson saying, this path, this way of the heart, has certain stages. There's 4 stages, and throughout it we need to cultivate another characteristic within us, which is humility. The first stage is desire. Now this was the main theme of the previous lesson, but he states here that this is the first step. This is very important. First, desire is everything, and without it not a thing can arise. Therefore indeed, what you desire is of utmost importance. Desire then perfect union with God. Desire then to be Christ incarnate. Desire then to be all that your Creator has created you to be, even if you haven't an idea what that might be. So what we desire is important. We need to stay focused on what we truly desire. If you want to be on this path, if that's what you really want, stay committed to it and desire that above all things. And like he says, first ye find the kingdom and everything else will be added to it. Have this be your first desire. This is important if you want it to be realized. The next phase or step is intention. Now I like to think of intention as attention with a purpose. So keeping your attention on this desire that you have, this one desire. And he says how through time we have practiced and learned how to be constantly distracted by different desires. So to be able to achieve this way of mastery, we need to practice and cultivate having our intention be the same always in every moment, and to repeat it back to ourselves often. Therefore, intention in the way of the heart means to utilize time each day to focus your attention on the desire to be Christ incarnate. And then, to apply intention, each day then, just as you have used time to teach yourself to be easily distracted, you need only apply one question to which you ask yourself daily. What is it that I most desire? What am I doing on this planet? What am I committed to? Therefore, become crystal clear with your intention and remind yourself of it daily. This is another way of just saying stay committed to it, right? Remind yourself of what you want really, and stop allowing yourself to be distracted by other lesser desires. So the intention, having your attention on what you desire most in every experience, in every moment, in every encounter. The third step is allowance, to allow. And he describes it as seeing your life completely different than what we're used to. Because in this paradigm, in this life, in the world, as he refers to it, the world, the way of operation in this reality, what we're used to, the ego's way of operating, is totally opposite to allowance. It's we need to work hard, we need to achieve, we need to succeed, we need to gain, we need to control. But allowance is opposite of that. And it is the state of humility and realizing that what we have tried doesn't work, and we don't know how to reach that state that we really want. And realizing that there's a higher power, and allowing that, and seeing our life not as things to gain, going up and up to success so that we may love ourselves and feel good, but it's realizing that every experience is a stepping stone, and allow those experiences to happen, and to see them neutrally, and to see them as experiences that are provided to us from the higher self, from God, so that we remember ourselves fully. Take each as a lesson and allow it to happen, and treat it as a lesson so that we may find ourselves, that we may remember our union. Allowance in this pathway means that you begin to view your life differently. It is not a struggle to get out of high school and create a career by which you can create golden coins, by which you can create the proper house and the proper environment so that your ego feels successful, and therefore of being worth love. Be honest with yourselves. Is not your world built on such premises? That's not it at all. The way of the heart begins with the recognition that you are already loved by the only source that matters, that you have come for a much higher purpose that can be made manifest in the ways of the world, but is not of the world. This also goes back to the idea in a previous lesson, which he spoke about, which is, I need do nothing. That is kind of the statement of allowance. I need to do nothing. I'm allowing these things to happen because I trust and I know that this higher source fully loves me. I'm created as I am meant to be, and things will arise in my experience perfectly in order for me to let go of the things I don't need and to remember fully. Allowance then is the cultivation of a way of looking at the events of your life, not as obstacles to getting what you want, but as stepping stones, each of which presents you with a blessing of the lessons required to heal the obstacles not to success, but to the presence of love as the source and ground of your being. In the stage of allowance, then, we begin to cultivate an acceptance of all things in our experience. We begin to see that because we have made a commitment to awakening and incarnating only Christ, that the universe is already conspiring to bring the people and events into our lives on a moment-to-moment basis that can best provide us with exactly what we most need to learn or become aware of. Allowance, I need do nothing, allowing the things to happen and recognizing them as lessons that are needed. And he says allowance makes you see the world around you differently. You see it not as obstacles, but as a field of vibration, as a realm of the law of attraction, and as a dream. And as that dream, it creates situations for you that are perfect for you to move along this path. And the final stage is surrender, which is complete trust. There's no more restlessness. There's no more questioning. There's even no more desire to connect or remember God, because you're fully remembrance of that connection. You fully surrender. And then you come to realization that you are not living a life, but life is flowing through you. You are a conduit of a bigger, grander sense of self, of this creator, of this true identity. Surrender means you know through every fiber of your being that there's no one here living a life. There is life flowing through the body, mind, personality for as long as it lasts. Here is where the mystical transformation is culminated or completed. It is here that you understand the meaning of the teaching, I live, yet not I, but Christ dwelleth as me. And he goes on to say this doesn't lead to inactivity, it actually leads to more activity, so that the will of the Father or the creative impulse of the Creator can flow through you, so that you may create as the Creator wishes you to create. And then he ends the lesson with humility, the very importance of humility, cultivating this quality of humility. And a quick way to reach a state of humility he gives as an example is to ask yourself, did I make myself? Did I create myself? A couple more questions that I like to ask is like, am I beating my own heart right now? Do I have to keep myself breathing as I sleep? It's a recognition and acknowledgement of a higher power, your source, your creator. And you reach a state of humility, recognition that there's something bigger than just you, your idea of just you, your ego. Genuine humility flows from the deep-seated recognition that you cannot save yourself, that you are created and not creator, that you are effect and not cause in an absolute sense, that something called life is not yours, that there is something beyond your capacity of containment and intellectual understanding. And just relating this to personal experience, the humility I felt, like deep humility I felt when I had a certain third eye experience, which forever changed my life, and I talk about it here in this video, it didn't feel like a bad humility. We have this connotation with the word humility as a bad thing, of feeling kind of guilty. Oh, I'm humiliated, I feel bad. It's not that sense. It's the sense of, like as stated in the previous quote, it's that, wow, there is something much bigger here than just me, just this idea of personality, of this body, of Mike, of whatever, your ego. There is something much grander, and thank goodness that there is. It's such a relief. It comes with a feeling of such deep gratitude, like, oh my goodness, thank you that there's something bigger than just me, that there is this grand sense of love, that there is this source, this creative intelligence within everything that I am one with. That is that state of humility, and you allow it to flow through you. It's a recognition that I do not do this alone at all. In fact, I kind of get out of my own way so that it may work through me. All these books are so amazing, and I'm so grateful that he put these all online for free at womlibrary.com. So definitely check those out, and check out the next lesson in this video. Thank you.